What if I told you that the entire conversation about high blood pressure is wrong? What if the decades-long obsession with salt, the endless warnings about sodium, what if it's all been a dangerous distraction, a smokescreen hiding the real secret to healthy, normal blood pressure? What if the true silent killer isn't the pressure itself, but a hidden deficiency, a missing piece in your body's complex electrical and chemical orchestra? And what if fixing that one deficiency, restoring that one missing mineral, is the true key to unlocking your body's own innate ability to regulate itself without relying on a lifetime of pills? This is the shocking truth that is finally coming to light. We have been fighting the wrong war. We have been blaming the wrong mineral. And in doing so, we have ignored the real hero. The number one, most essential, and most tragically misunderstood mineral for cardiovascular health. Now, when I say mineral for blood pressure, your mind probably jumps to a few obvious candidates. Maybe potassium, the counterbalance to sodium. Or maybe magnesium, the master relaxer. And while both of those are critically important, they are not the number one. They are not the foundational piece that makes everything else work. No, the real secret, the number one mineral, is the one hiding in plain sight. The one that is chemically bonded to the very mineral we've been told to fear. This is the great inversion. For 50 years, we have been terrified of sodium chloride, salt. We have demonized the sodium. And in our panic, we have completely forgotten. We have utterly ignored the other half of that molecule, the chloride. What if that is the real secret? What if chloride, not sodium, is the true ignored cornerstone of healthy blood pressure? That is the shocking possibility we are here to explore. Over the course of this video, we are not going to talk about sodium. We are going to dive deep into the hidden, forgotten essential roles of chloride, and I am going to reveal the 3 shocking ways that low chloride, caused by our fear of salt, is directly causing your high blood pressure. 3 hidden mechanisms that your pills cannot fix, but that this one simple mineral can. So, to understand the solution, chloride, we must first understand the real problem. And the real problem is not just pressure. It is systemic dysfunction. It is a communication breakdown. It is a failure of your body to absorb nutrients, a failure to balance fluids, and a failure to manage stress. And chloride is the key to all 3. So, let's start with the first, most ignored consequence of our chloride phobia, the one that starts in your stomach but ends in your stiff arteries. And in our next block, I'm going to reveal how your fear of salt is literally starving your body and forcing your pressure up.
So we've established the clear and present danger. We have been so obsessed with demonizing sodium that we have completely ignored its essential partner, chloride. And we've established that this chloride phobia, this fear of salt, is causing your high blood pressure through hidden mechanisms. So, what is the first, most ignored consequence of low chloride? The one that starts in your stomach but ends in your stiff arteries? The first shocking change is the collapse of your digestion and nutrient absorption. This is the great inversion. This is the shocking truth that doctors are finally rediscovering. For decades, what have we been told causes acid reflux, heartburn, and GERD? Too much acid, right? Wrong, dead wrong. The vast majority of seniors, as they age, do not suffer from too much acid. They suffer from too little. It's a condition called hypochlorhydria, and this low acid is the hidden source of their misery, and it is a direct driver of their high blood pressure. So, why do seniors have low stomach acid? Because what is stomach acid? Its primary component is hydrochloric acid, HCl. Look at the name, hydrochloric. To make it, your body must have hydrogen from water and chloride. And where is the primary source of chloride in our diet? It is salt, sodium chloride. For 50 years, we have told seniors to be terrified of salt. We have put them on heart-healthy, low-salt diets. We have starved their bodies of the one essential, non-negotiable raw material they must have to make stomach acid. We caused this epidemic. That is the shock. But it gets even worse. What else happens when you are chronically malnourished because of low acid? Your adrenal glands, your stress glands, panic. They perceive this malnutrition as a famine, as a survival threat, so they scream by dumping out cortisol and adrenaline, stress hormones. And what do those hormones do? They constrict your blood vessels and raise your blood pressure. So, the low chloride from salt fear caused the low acid, which caused the malnutrition, which caused the adrenal panic, which caused the high blood pressure. This is the hidden mechanism. This is the ignored truth. Pills cannot fix this. Only restoring your digestion can fix this. And that starts with chloride. That is the first profound change. And I know this information can feel overwhelming, especially when you're already worried about your numbers, but it also shows there are natural pathways, hidden levers you can pull to support your health. And on that note, there's some fascinating research on how specific, natural ingredients from heart-healthy villages can support your cardiovascular system differently. I've placed a link to this unique approach in the first pinned comment for anyone tired of that constant worry. So, we've just fixed the nutrient problem, the digestion problem. But what about the fluid problem? What about hydration? What if chloride is also the forgotten key to cellular hydration, the real reason you are always thirsty but always running to the bathroom? In our next block, I'm going to reveal this second hidden conversation, the one that stops the dehydration that is also spiking your pressure.
We have just uncovered the first, profound, and ignored transformation. Your fear of salt has led to a chloride deficiency, which caused low stomach acid, which caused malnutrition, especially of magnesium, which caused adrenal panic, high cortisol, all of which directly spike your blood pressure. This is the first hidden mechanism. Fixing your digestion is the first step to fixing your pressure. But I promised you it was just the beginning, because we've only talked about the nutrient problem. We haven't talked about the fluid problem, the hydration problem. This brings us to the second shocking health change, the restoration of true cellular hydration. Now, why is this change so shocking? It's shocking because of the greatest, most dangerous misunderstanding in all of hydration science: water itself. For decades, what have we been told is the key to hydration? Just drink more water. Drink 8 glasses a day. And what kind of water? Purified, filtered, bottled water. Water that has had everything, including the minerals, stripped out. This is a catastrophic mistake. This is the great inversion. Drinking more empty water does not hydrate you. In fact, it can dehydrate you faster. Why? Because true hydration is not about getting water into your stomach, it's about getting water into your cells. And your cells have a gatekeeper, a complex system of pumps and channels that decide whether water comes in or stays out. And what controls these gatekeepers? Electrolytes, minerals with an electrical charge, specifically the delicate balance between sodium, primarily outside the cell, and potassium, primarily inside the cell. This is the battery that drives the pumps. But this is the shocking ignored part. What is the other major electrolyte that works with sodium to maintain the fluid balance outside the cell? What is the negative charge that balances sodium's positive charge? It is chloride. Yes, chloride is not just for your stomach, it is the single most abundant negative electrolyte in your entire body. It is the essential counterion to sodium. You cannot manage fluid balance without it. So what happens when you drink that empty, purified water? It has no electrolytes. It is hypotonic, more dilute than your blood. Your body, in a panic to maintain balance, cannot allow this empty water to flood and dilute your cells, so it flushes it out through your kidneys, taking your precious electrolytes with it. That is why you drink a bottle of purified water and you have to run to the bathroom 20 minutes later. The water passed right through you. It never got in, and it stole your minerals on the way out. You just made yourself more dehydrated. Now, what happens when you embrace the ancient wisdom? When you stop fearing salt, sodium chloride, when you add a pinch of unrefined mineral salt, which contains sodium chloride, potassium, magnesium, etc., to your water. You have changed the water. You have turned it from empty water into an electrolyte solution, a living, mineral-rich drink that your body recognizes. Now, when you drink it, the sodium and the chloride work together. They balance the fluid outside the cell, which allows the potassium to pull the water inside the cell. This is true cellular hydration. You are finally watering the plant, not just the pot. So, how does this lower your blood pressure? This is the shocking part. Chronic cellular dehydration caused by mineral deficiency, especially chloride, raises your blood pressure in two direct ways. First, blood volume. When your cells are thirsty, they steal water from your bloodstream. This decreases your blood volume. Your body panics, low volume equals death, so it forces your adrenal glands to scream, dumping cortisol, and it forces your kidneys to retain sodium, both of which skyrocket your pressure, just to keep the pipes full. Second, blood viscosity. When your blood is dehydrated, it becomes thicker, sludgier, more viscous like ketchup instead of water. This thick sludge is harder for your heart to pump, forcing your heart to work harder, raising your pressure. So, look at the inversion. We thought salt, sodium, raised pressure by increasing volume, but for many, the lack of salt, especially chloride, is causing dehydration, which raises pressure by decreasing volume and thickening the blood. That is the shocking truth. Restoring your minerals, especially chloride, restores your hydration, which allows your body to relax, stop panicking, and normalize your blood volume and viscosity naturally. That is the second profound change. You are not lowering your pressure, you are fixing your fluids. So we fixed the nutrient problem, chloride to acid to absorption, and we fixed the fluid problem, chloride to hydration to volume viscosity. This is already a new life. But what about the communication problem? What about the nerves themselves? What if chloride is also the forgotten key to calming the electrical storm in your nervous system, the real stuck gas pedal? In our final block, I'm going to reveal this third hidden conversation, the one that stops the anxiety at the cellular level.
We have now established two revolutionary, life-altering, and ignored connections. First, your fear of salt has led to a chloride deficiency, which caused low stomach acid, starving you of magnesium, and triggering adrenal panic, high cortisol. Second, this same chloride deficiency caused chronic cellular dehydration, decreasing your blood volume and thickening your blood, both of which force your body to raise your blood pressure just to survive. This alone is a new life, a new understanding of your body. But I promised you a third change, the final piece of the puzzle. What about the communication problem? What about the stuck gas pedal, the anxiety, the racing thoughts, the inability to relax that keeps your nervous system screaming fight or flight all day long? This brings us to the third shocking health change, the restoration of nervous system balance, the calming of the electrical storm. Now, why is this change so shocking? It's shocking because of the greatest, most tragic disconnect in all of neuroscience, the assumption that anxiety is just in your head, that it's just thoughts or emotions. This is the final great inversion. Anxiety is not just in your head. It is a physical, chemical, electrical state. It is a failure of your brain's own natural brake pedal. And that brake pedal requires chloride to function. This is the shocking secret that doctors never mention. Let's look at the biology of your brain cells, neurons. How do they calm down? How do they hit the brakes? They do it using your brain's master brake pedal neurotransmitter, GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. GABA is the chill-out molecule. It is the everything is okay signal. But GABA cannot work alone. It is just the messenger. For GABA to actually calm a neuron, it must bind to a special date on the neuron's surface, the GABA receptor. Think of this receptor as a locked gate. And when GABA, the messenger, binds to this gate, it unlocks it. And what flows through that open gate? What is the physical substance that rushes into the neuron and instantly calms it down, hyperpolarizes it, makes it less likely to fire an anxiety signal? It is chloride ions. Yes, chloride, that same mineral, is the physical key that turns off anxiety at the cellular level. The GABA receptor is technically a chloride ion channel. Its entire function is to let chloride in to calm the cell down. So, what happens when you are chronically deficient in chloride because you fear salt? This is the terrifying part. Your GABA messengers might be working fine, they arrive at the gate, they unlock it, but there is very little chloride available to flow through. The calm down signal is weak. The neuron doesn't calm down, it stays hyperexcitable, it keeps firing anxiety signals. This is the physical state of anxiety. This is the stuck gas pedal at the cellular level. Your brain cannot physically calm itself down because it is starved of the one ion it needs to do so. That is the shocking truth. Your fear of salt is literally fueling your anxiety. And what does chronic anxiety do? It keeps your gas pedal, sympathetic nervous system, floored, which keeps your cortisol high, which keeps your blood vessels constricted, which keeps your blood pressure high. This is the final hidden mechanism. The pills, like anti-anxiety meds, try to artificially boost GABA or block the gas pedal, but they never address the root cause, the chloride deficiency, the lack of the key that makes the brakes work. So, let's bring it all back. Let's look at the total transformation. This is the circularity. This is the answer to the question we asked at the very beginning. That prescription bottle, it was a lie. Not because the pills don't work, they do, temporarily, but because they only mask the symptom, pressure. They ignore the source. And the source, as doctors are now shocked to realize, is often a simple, profound deficiency driven by our fear of one half of the salt molecule, chloride. That is the shocking truth. When you stop fearing salt, when you embrace unrefined mineral salt like Himalayan or Celtic, everything changes. Because chloride, 1, fixes your digestion by allowing you to make stomach acid, which allows you to absorb magnesium and stops adrenal panic. Change 1. 2, fixes your hydration by acting as the key electrolyte that allows water into your cells, normalizing blood volume and viscosity. Change 2. And 3, fixes your nervous system by acting as the physical key that allows GABA to calm your brain and release the stuck gas pedal. Change 3. You are not just lowering your pressure, you are restoring your body's fundamental operating system. That is the simple, ignored truth. Pills are force, minerals are intelligence. Pills are management, this is healing. That is the secret. And if this message, if this new perspective on fixing the source has empowered you today, then please hit that subscribe button. Our entire mission is to uncover these simple, ignored truths that give you back control. Because now that you understand the #1 mineral that fixes your internal chemistry, you also need to know the simple 3-minute ritual that resets your internal wiring, the neurological stuck switch. The video, How to Improve Your Blood Pressure in 3 Minutes a Day, explains exactly how to do this using only your breath. Click on the video on your screen right now to learn the 3-minute breathing technique that will train your nervous system and change your life.